All right, guys. So, part three of Harsh Times. I'm sorry, this is cut in so many little pieces, but that just I I cannot watch every movie in the daylight. Like this movie is very dark, so I have to find the perfect state of mind to address it and to give my best analysis of it. So here we go. We are just about after the polygraph test, and Agent Richards said to him to follow him to his fans upstairs. So we finally find who his friends upstairs are, and yeah. So let's go from there. For those who are keeping count, I am at. Wait a second. I am at 59 minutes 52 seconds. So here we go. In the dark room with the higher people checking his resume and then Mr. Gillespie and everything. Yeah, he fucked the polygraph. I don't get that. And of course, as David Ayer said, all they want is an explanation. And if if he is just below the positive threshold, he's not positive. So what the fuck? So the techniques he tried to pass the test almost worked, but and here we go. A nice chat with his commanding officer. Oh, and he's putting Jim in a place he didn't want to go again. All Jim wanted was to be a cop. Just to have a cop and work his way out through detective and be maybe in the FBI or in Homeland Security, or he wanted simple things. And now uh, They tell him it's not the time to start a family. Who the fuck are you to tell him that? Like Mike would say. And of course, the operational officer says him, love doesn't matter. Just go to Colombia and fuck hot broads, and Gemma is left with no choice. I want on board. And they don't shake his hand because he's dirty to them. And Jim's life, just completely fall apart right at this time. As he is walking out this door and we see him in the car, out of it. He's completely out of it. He says, I got a job, but he doesn't tell him what it is. Yeah, and Mike got a job too. And Jim knows that he's probably never gonna see Mike again. Because, and Jim just says, yeah, the police, fuck the police. I can just kill them and rip the video from their trunk. And the look. And it's just, I'm pausing here a little because it speaks so much for the community angle of Los Angeles, because LA is all about, well, as I understand it, and as I'm sure David Ayer experiences it, it's all about who do you know, because he's talking about the two leads, Jim and Mike, are people who grew up in the thick of Los Angeles gang wars, and who were like streetwise from a very young age, and they kind of made it through. Like Jim went to the military, so it led them away from this world, and Mike just got is I think Mike's girlfriend um, showed him a way out, showed him made with him a different life that he would have had if she wasn't there. So she is like his guardian angel from my perspective. And Jim, of course, has his future wife that he wants to marry in Mexico, but right now he knows it's not gonna happen. He knows everything is out of balance. He knows he's taking a very dangerous job. So, and he's gonna never, and he's probably maybe never gonna see his best friend again. So all he wants is to celebrate, and we will see later in the end of the movie how these things up and escalates every little time, every second, every minute of every last piece of the movie we have left. So I think it's very precise editing, very precise storytelling that David Ayer, with such a small budget and such a small, just the power of the words and the power of the performances that carried through this movie. So on pause. So for me, yeah, nothing like being friend with the cops. Of course, dude, it's Friday. It's Friday here too, so cheers. I'll look into that. And you introduced Tucson. You guys be cool. And Jim gives them the death look. They're not gonna be cool. Another great soundtrack ambience that builds and builds and builds. And who is Tucson? Like just a childhood friend. This and it's. I think people miss what people miss about this movie. It's all about childhood. I love the actor who played Tucson. I don't know his name, but it's so it's David Ayer just knows how to build chemistry with his group of actors. And craziest head I know. So you know he's a crazy head. This is bad. I love how he plays with a gun. And Jim is still putting on his face. Jim is still laughing. And it's really, yeah, we got a party tonight. Let's go to Mexico. Because he doesn't tell them why he wants to go to Mexico. He wants to see his near wife for the last time because I'm because it's so heavy watching Jim or Christian Bale acts and while knowing everything that must be working through his head. Like Mike worked out great. He had what he wanted. He'll get back with Sylvia. He's got his job. Again, she's a guardian angel, and again, it's to talk. Let's pause it a second. It's to talk about Mike is a creature of luck. He got lucky not getting into the gangs when he was young. He got lucky to reach this age and still being kind of streetwise, but keeping his hands clean. And he was like her, like Sylvia said, he supported her through college, so that's the reason why she has this job now. Why she got through um, law school. It's because of him, and she loves him for that. And that's what is create their bond. And now he comes back with a real job, a tangible job, and all in LA, all near, with good opportunities, with a good future, a true future that she can see and she can believe and everything. But Jim is just going on to the dark side, and we can see it in Christian Bale's acting. We can see it in David Ayer's directing. He's slowly descending more and more into a dark path that the upper up level guys at the end, the upper echelon guys decided what he was going to do, what he was going to use his life with, and what he was going to accomplish, and what he was going to become. He got no say in it. They just told him, look, your Mexican girlfriend, forget about it, and your LAPD job, forget about it, and you're gonna be a Colombian warlord, and you're gonna take your orders and fuck Colombian broads, like they said, and that's gonna be the end. That's gonna be all for you. So just say yes and thank you and fuck you. I think it's the best scene between the two. Reconciliation, of course, taking longer than expected. And they're just drinking and drinking. Jim just got handled the mission. Of course, we have the light side with Sylvia and getting reasonable and secure, and but of course, Jim Jim is the dark side. He wants to just party to hell. The first confrontation between Jim and Sylvia, and she sees absolutely through him like glass. She knows exactly what he's made of, what he intends, and what a life and what kind of party animal he is, and what kind of darkness he carries within himself. And she doesn't want the man she loves to go near any of that. But she will say it right now. Sometimes you have to tell. Sometimes you have to speak truth. Yeah. My biggest fear is you with a badge. You're the last person that should have one. It's That's true. Maybe it's harsh, but Jim is crazy. There's no walking around it. Right now, he's crazy. She knows their world. She knows they're playing with life and death every day. So Mike is all, we're men, testosterone. Jim is fucking nuts. And it is a hard contrast to see this beautiful piece of land superposed to the lower Mexican life, which is like Mike is gonna say, they can't believe, like, what is this shit? Uh, Sorry, I'm not saying anything, but it's just all again, in another circumstance, it would be such a heartful moment. Jim is so happy, and Tucson says it. Yeah, if you don't marry her, you're a fool, and Jim knows that it's not gonna happen. So he is playing over the time he has left. He's counting. He's almost counting the seconds, getting the maximum he can out of these last moments of pleasure, of sheer heart and just pure joy. Nice life, beautiful woman. I love, I love the environment. Telling you see, we're at the scene where he's describing the his background between the two sisters, Letty and Patty. Treachery. And I just wanted to take a minute to talk about, because this moment goes on really quick, but when Jim takes the word treachery to another level, when he's like, it is of the utmost importance to his character and into his soul and to his behavior. Treachery is from a woman he loves is the worst thing, as we will see later, that can happen. So, I just, again, it's all a little synapses of David Ayer's script that are making the characters even more compelling without you even knowing it. So, just an observation. He smiles at her, and he knows it's the last. It's the last time you will see her. After today, there's nothing else but purgatory for Jim. And he calls the shots now. He spills the beans. And in Mike's eyes, it's real simple. You love her, she loves you. That's all you need in Mike's world, but in Jim's world, it's a whole other game. And it's very heartbreaking because for all his faults, Jim tried to do his best. Of course, he fucked up the tests and the urinalysis and the polygraph, but he's not. This is something I want to ask you, whoever is watching this. Is Jim a bad guy? Plenty of people would say yes. Plenty of people would say, well, he's he's just conflicted and he tries his best through the horrors and the nightmares and the difficulty in his relationships that he has to gone through. He has to get himself out of the way in order to be happy, but he can't. No matter how hard he tries, he can never achieve it. So that's, from my point of view, that's Jim's story. And that makes him a great character. Great character. That's one point with David Ayer. You can say anything you want about his direction. Always great written characters with arcs, with character development. Well, everything we want as a storytelling. And his friends are trying to he'd be happier. I don't give a fuck. That resumes Jim's character painfully. I don't give a fuck. And such a beautiful scene. Those keeping count, I'm seeing this scene where they're in bed together, and she she knows she's gotta tell her some. She's gotta tell him something. And she's saying to him a poem of. And I love that all this is in Spanish because I love, of course, it's a small thing, but I love when it is logical for people, for Spanish people that don't speak English, just to speak fucking Spanish. But Hollywood, it's a lost art because they think where the audience is too dumb to read subtitles. But I love it because it makes it so much more real. Nada. Oh yeah, and now we had the party. So I'm just gonna take a small break. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so we're back. So let's continue. For those keeping count, I am at the party in Mexico. So just beginning. An hour, 26 minutes, and 12 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, play. Bonita. And of course, Jim has multiple reasons to be there. He wants to be with his, of course, party with his friends. He wants to score with his girlfriend. He wants to. And it breaks my heart to see these fine actors. I one playing Mike and two sound like not. And everybody's happy and having a great time. Music is good. Even Jim is happy because Jim is in denial and love the authentic music. And of course, Jim's going to talk with a guy. Who's that guy? We'll understand a little bit later that, of course, Jim had to fuck up a little because he's so unhinged now because nothing matters anymore. So he's ready to take all the risks. Okay, let's jump right in again. Where Jim is entering his car, with Marta in the background, in the back seat, and he just wants to score. And there goes the punch. And she goes in. I love her shoulder dropping, and he's just pissed. He doesn't want a kid, and he puts the fault on her. And she says, I can do the rest myself. I don't need you. Because you're not fit to be a father. And Jim doesn't want any child. And just saying, go to get an abortion. And she loves him and wants to have your child. But Jim is too crazy to fucking. It's such an intense scene. She loves him unconditionally, while he is just fucking nuts. He is out of control, like Tucson will say. And that's the ultimate pledge of love. It's like, I'm pausing here, guys, but it's like, for all those of us who have been in difficult relationships, how pure is this moment? She's saying, you can do whatever the fuck you want with me, but I'll still love you because I see you and not your deeds, not your sins. It's it's absolutely disarming. Mike is seeing this, and Mike is his anchor to recognize that he's gone too far, and resets him in a place of. Again, he looks at the gun and doesn't understand, so he is maybe schizophrenic or just the damage of PTSD. So yeah, we're gonna leave. And Mike is just seizing all the. So heartbreaking. Marta is alone and distraught, and they let Jim drive. I love these shots from Christian Bell. He looks totally fucking crazy. He wants a cut to come over. Again, treachery, fucking treachery. Because being pregnant with his child is somehow treachery. It's it's totally psychotic behavior, of course. But Jim cannot see past himself. Jim cannot see past what he wants, what he loves, what he hates. And for him, the utmost treachery of the woman he loves more than anything is a bridge too far. But of course, it's ridiculous. He's psychotic. And this is my favorite line of the movie, however dark and however purely um, nihilistic. He says, "Fuck you, God, you don't have the fucking balls to take my ass." And and many times in my life, if you've seen the My Life video, you understand that I really understand this sentiment, and that, like, I know what it is to challenge God. It's just, he says I'm cold, but he erupts. The emotion, the emotion is just, I love how Christian Bale plays it, but of course, there are so many scenes in this movie with a car, within a car, with it. How can you get the plethora? Just want to check the cam. Okay. Uh, how can you get the plethora of nuances in the psyches of the characters just from a car? And David Ayer gives us so much nuances and so much detail and so much character build up. And now we are in the nearing the end, and Jim is completely destroyed. And knowing that the woman he loves in Mexico is gonna have his child, while he is in deployment to, lack of a better words, sell his soul. Because by going to Colombia and being leaving, I mean, leading raid after raid on drug lords and people and civilians, and as you said, kill chicken and dogs too, like gunning people every day in the jungle. He's gonna lose his soul if it hasn't already happened. So now he's just become a volcano of emotions. And as we see at an hour, 36 minutes, and 28 seconds, he bursts out. You can't hide it anymore. He drove it across the border. He's telling him, and the volcano is erupting too far. And he pulls a gun on his best friend. And he's done it. He has gone too far. For all his mistakes, for all his life, for all his deeds, for all his sins, he pulled a gun on his best friend. There's no good excuse. He's crying like a baby. Christian Bale's acting is perfect. Mike, I love the way it's masterful as he is halfway crying and halfway decided to see this till the end because it served his friend. And Jim's all excited. And Jim finally has karma. Just karma. Just playing hard in the streets, playing hard with the players. He's finally got up what was waiting for him. And for $3,000 for 3 Gs. It's ridiculous. But we'll see. Let's go. And Jim is having again PTSD visions. One died kid, two died, three kills. Four kills. I love this shot, slow motion shot. It is beautiful and tragic. And from right here, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna say a lot because the performances are so crippling, are so heartbreaking. It's like it is devastating, honestly. And each time I see it, each time I get to this point, it's it's just heartbreaking. Yeah. So what can I say? It's great, great actors, great direction, great, just a great movie overall. And I'm almost crying because The performances are so strong that for all the movies, for all Hollywood has to show us with heroes playing gun and killing people and breaking people's necks and shooting people and whatever, we don't give a fuck. This one only shootout is so full of emotions that it isn't comparable. It's just I again, it's just great. He wanted to know what it's like to kill someone. Sean Bell's acting is. He deserves a fucking Oscar for this movie. It's completely believable, completely heartbreaking. Two best friends, one has to kill the other out of pure mercy, and he gets, the relief he gets when he feels the cannon of the gun on his forehead, nothing but pure relief. It's done. It's heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. I don't know what else to say. She knows. She knew that something like that would happen. She knew. But she's his anchor, and she'll never let go. Written and directed by David Ayer. Great psychological action drama. Wait, did I see that right? Oh fuck, fucked up. Anyway, guys, so yeah, um, for me, Harsh Times is my second favorite after End of Watch. I think End of Watch is a little more fast paced, a little more maybe a little more, of course, modern. The way that it's um, way that it's always the camera is always in your face. The way it's shot, like the it's shot like I'm missing the term, but anyway, well, when we get there, we'll talk about it. So yeah, my next film from David Ayer's collection will be End of Watch. So I think guys for hanging on all this time. I salute you if you like this movie as much as I do, and yeah. So have a great day or night. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Batman video or maybe something else.